defenders, I think, is like.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, man. Come on.
Am I live? Of course I'm live. People deluded, I'm back again. First things first, appreciative to all of you lot tuned in. If you're like myself in the United Kingdom, then good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course, good night, with where you lot are concerned. With it being Tuesday, hope you lot are aggressively attacking your goals, hopes, dreams, ambitions, aspirations, overcoming hardship or trying to, etc., etc. And I wish you lot the best in that regard. You can't do any of that without health. You ain't got health, you're dead, as I always say. So I hope you and your loved ones have good health or even better health, because you can never be too healthy in it. Hope everyone's doing well and safe. If you're on YouTube, please make sure you're hitting the like button. If you're on Twitch, then extra big up yourself, because this is the second stream of the day. Twitch gang, I appreciate it. Make sure you're following across both platforms. You know, appreciative to everyone who, you know, obviously supports the guy and all these things, because we're now at 46,000 YouTube subs. Can we get to 50 before the end of the year, people, and then see where we can take it? And obviously we're literally half the way there on Twitch. We've got 5K. Let's get another 5 in it. Let's keep grinding, mate. I know I took a couple of days off, but we're back in it now. It is what it is. 1 minute, Saka's drawing interest from City. Then they're distancing themselves from it. We'll never know. All that needs to be done, tie the guy's contract down, innit? Just tie the man's contract down and it's done, innit? It doesn't matter what anyone wants to do if you just tie down Bukayo Saka's contract, because he's not like the other ones. I like him. As some people would say. Let me stop my foolishness. But yeah, we'll get into that in a second. Any talking points, questions, any of that stuff, people feel no sort of way and get them in. Come on, man. Guy said, give me Nunes, brother. I mean, I'm taking anyone at this football club at this moment in time. Can we just get a forward? Man said, later again, don't you know you're not allowed to have a personal life? Troy, you're right. Still, you're right. Man said, Jesus is a direct replacement for Lacazette, all press and no goals. Do you know what? For as harsh as the critics, I can't argue. Because for me, as I keep saying, I like Gabriel Jesus. I like what he can bring to the table. But it's just the potential to score goals. It's the hope that obviously with his ability to play more through the middle and play on a more regular basis, he could score goals. But that's all potential. And I think next season, I'm betting on a lot. Like, you're hoping that with, you know, a platform to score goals, which Jesus does have the ability. He hasn't got the CV, he could do that. But then again, we struggle to keep clean sheets. We struggle to score goals. One love to Bukayo Saka, but he's learning to score goals. He's not a goal scorer. This is his first season, double numbers. Smith Rowe the same. Saka, and I'm not Saka, Martinelli and Odegaard, I think they should be looking at 10 and 10 as well, as they all should. What, Martin Odegaard got 6 in the league? No, Martinelli got 6 in the league. I think Odegaard got 7 in the league. You know, Jesus, fair enough. You know, you're kind of betting on a lot. There's not really any confirmed goal scorers. So I'm just hoping that with the platform and his experience, he'll do his thing. At the same time, though, when you look at how the Brazil gaffer and Pep speak about him, they never really talk about his goal scoring abilities. He's the perfect system striker. He's the perfect guy to have part of the squad, and he does play his part in vital moments. You know, harsh critics would also say Gabriel Jesus was the backup striker when there was no striker at City. Like, they're playing with no strikers. He's still the backup done, really and truly. And, you know, again, I think he's got the ability to score goals. I mean, I hope the talent ID has obviously been favourable to us in that regards, because I didn't think Ramsdale was as good as he was with his feet. Arteta bought him and he was, you know. I see why Ben White was signed. Jury's still out. But yeah, obviously this season, Gab has just got, in 28 appearances, he got 8 goals and 9 assists. 4 of them came in one game and really started bagging when he was just linked with Arsenal. 236 games for City, 95 goals, 46 assists as well. But, you know, should really have minimum 100 then. And even then, that's probably not good enough as well. 58 goals and 159 appearances in the Prem. So I believe in his abilities and things. But yeah, man, it is what it is. And he's gone mad weeks without scoring goals at times as well. I'm not making any of this up. You can all see on the transfer mark. Obviously, started the season well. Don't get brownie points for bagging against Arsenal, do you? Anyone can do that. Did score against Chelsea and did score against Liverpool. We used to run that with Lacazette, that he scores in the big games, innit? So why I not got an assist against Liverpool, I stand corrected. Well, I'm sure you scored. Yeah, you did score. Then you got 4 there. But look at the drought in, though, people. It's a mad drought. Listen, we're not in a place to be getting them 30 strikers. But if Saka, Smith Rowe, Odegaard, you know, to go with Eddie, you know, having a bit of a wobble, it could be brazy. You need to be getting me, I say 20, but I'll cut you a bit of slack. If you're the starting striker, 15 plus goals, really it should be 20. Eddie Nketiah, if you're the second fiddle sort of guy, I don't think it's, I want more, but 10 league goals. Again, all comps, do your thing, score as many as possible. But I want 10 league goals from Eddie Nketiah if you're second choice, minimum. I want 15, 20 from Gab Jesus. Odegaard, Martinelli, Smith Rowe, Saka. Goals have never been more important in you lot's positions. I do think you can obviously play well without that, and sometimes you can coast, but you lot should be trying to get 10 goals, 10 assists, and aiming to be in and amongst that region. But if I'm looking at it cynically, this is a lot of potential. There's not really any confirmation per se with any of these dons. So it is what it is. From what I like with Jesus, as I said, he's the perfect sort of system striker. Beyond that, I'm not too sure. Hit the like button, YouTube ones as well, folks. 24 likes. I mean, tough crowd. You go missing for a couple of days and you lose all your little buzz, mate. With more sorry, let's remove this. There's no need for that. With more consistent game time, I think he could go up a level. So do I. As South London has said, people come on, smash the likes. Let's get up to 200. I like Jesus. I just feel we need to have a backup plan. Him and Eddie are the same type of player. Would be nice to see him come in with the likes of Tammy or a player of his type. True. I'd agree with that. And for Eddie Nketiah, it's different, isn't it? Because I wouldn't say there's still any expectation on you per se. But all right, you're going into next season, not a squad player anymore. You're a rotation option. When you get your chance, take it. Really simple as that. You're right. Still, I would like something different. I have said that because I do think away from home, obviously, we want a striker that can drop deep, get involved, score goals, running behind and has pace, obviously. But I do think when you look at games like Spurs, when you look at Newcastle, we've got no outlet. You know, teams read that ball from Ramsdale or Ben White consistently into the channels for Saka or Martinelli. And half the time they're playing against people physically more imposing than them. If we had a striker that could, hold up the ball a bit, win a couple of fouls here and there, get us high up the field, I'm on that as well. That's an almost added cherry on top of anyone, really. So, yeah, I would like that. I would like variety, if I'm completely honest. Jesus won't have the same hunger at Arsenal. Why not? Drop the like or hide your baby mum. Saka to Man City, DG, United fan here. I want chaos. Fair play, bruv. I've seen Thierry Henry and Vieira go. Anyone who wants to leave, go. I can't begrudge Saka if he wanted to go to Man City. Pep Guardiola, their winning staff. I'd say the one luxury that you're given here, and it won't be at City. Everything you do at City will be scrutinized here. It's not really per se. We just love you. I love having you here. I don't think Saka is going to leave yet, but in the next 2 years, that could be a thing. I think right now he's at that stage of still being a bit naive and loving Arsenal. He's still kind of gassed about playing week in, week out. But now, obviously, he's gone to a Euros. By God's grace, he goes to a World Cup. He's become a first name on the team sheet sort of guy. He's starting to, all right, cool. My name's Bukayo Saka. I'm 30, innit? I'm not just gassed to be around these footballers. So I couldn't begrudge him if he went to City or Liverpool, and the same goes for Martin Odegaard one day, potentially Smith Rowe one day, Martinelli, etc. Gabriel, I can't begrudge it. It's the way of life. If we're not offering you stuff, my thing is just make sure you get top money and make sure there's a backup plan. Really, the world keeps spinning. It is what it is. If we're doing one thing and other teams are doing another, and they're doing better things, why not? Really and truly. If he cuts in it. Like, it is what it is, really. Like, I do sound a bit blasé, but yeah, man, like, it is what it firmly is what it is. Gabriel Jesus / Saka thoughts. Good way to start the live stream. Big up you, my dude. It's at 9:30. Let's put that there. Cut that up as well. If Telemann comes, 10 goals minimum. I don't know. Is Telemann's a goal scorer? I'm asking of Telemann's. First thing I'm asking Telemann's. I don't care about your strengths. Obviously, I do. I care about your weaknesses. There's a lot of things that fans slate Xhaka for that, I'm sorry, but Telemans does. Sometimes gets caught, like against Spurs, unnecessary on the ball. Known to give away a couple of penalties. Not the best physically. Not the best in terms of defensive output. To be fair, though, Telemans has 6, looking at it in 32 appearances, 6 goals, 4 assists. You might be right there at South London in that he could probably bring something to the table. But when I look at it, 18 goals in 120 appearances, 5 goals in 47 in Liga. For Anderlecht, 35 goals in 185, 6 goals for Monaco in his 65 appearances, 24 goals and 24 assists, identical really, for Leicester in 158. I mean, clearly he's got the capacity to bring goals to his table. And when he does score, a bit like Xhaka, it is quite decent finishes. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but did he not score a decent goal against Manchester United? I might be capping. But yeah, man, maybe he could get goals, but I'm not really looking at Telemans to bag goals like that. Of course, if that's an area where he can improve, why not, man? But I don't think I'm personally demanding that of Telemans. But if we can share the goals in and around the squad, you'd be a fool to not want that in it, really and truly. Because as we've seen, when certain men are not scoring or doing the business or having a good game, you know, we're in problems as a football club, really and truly. So we'd have to see what happens there. TikTok. So yeah, man. Can Gnabry play centre forward? I thought he's just a winger. I mean, he's played as a false 9. He's played on the left, on the right. He can actually play as a 10. Gnabry would be a perfect signing, but I don't see it coming from anywhere creditable, in my opinion. Obviously, any of the small links that we do see, I think the bulk of them are because obviously to do with his contract and obviously his past history at Arsenal. But beyond that, I don't think there's any. I just don't think there's any truth in it, really and truly. And to be honest, I mean, Gnabry can play as a false 9 all he wants, but I would like the option of doing that and having a proper striker like you see with Bayern Munich. Obviously, they might lose both players, but they had Lewandowski. They could, you know, when you've got Lewandowski, by all means, do all your false 9 stuff with Gnabry and things like that. I just think we need options because we're not going to sign, you know, we ain't got a Son or Salah or these sort of things where you could, or when even a Aubameyang to a degree, where you could sit there in August and say they're probably going to get me 20 or so goals, or there's going to be a certain level of performance from someone like Alexis Sanchez. There's no one in the team that can do that, and to a degree, it comes with the territory because we're doing this young thing, but it's not fair. So again, if you can share out the goals and whatnot, then you're helping everybody else out, man. Saka's the Zinchenko replacement. I like Jesus, but it does worry me that he's similar to Eddie Nketiah. A big physical presence is needed up front to allow for more styles of play. We need a striker who can score headers. Ain't seen a striker at Arsenal header ball since Giroud. I can't lie. You might be onto something there. No player is bigger than the club. We only want players that want to be here. If we don't compete for the league within 2-3 years, our youngsters will leave. If they leave, they leave. If they stay, they stay, man. The past brings regret. The future brings uncertainty. There's no time like the present. Jose Mourinho rejecting PSG. Bracy. I can't lie. No one is touching my star boy. Jesus under Pep playing with his place on the line. I don't think it'll be the same under Arteta if he's our main striker. Well, there's going to be more scrutiny at Arsenal. Obviously, for obvious reasons, there's going to be more pressure at City, but there's more scrutiny. Gabriel Jesus isn't allowed to, if he was, to coast. There's no hiding behind the fact that Grealish is 100 million and people are looking at that. Raheem Sterling, this and that. Foden's the star man and all these sort of things. Mahrez, this. Bernardo, that. You know, we're looking at you. In fact, Gabriel Jesus probably looks a bit more human. How many times do you see it? You know, people look at Mesut Ozil, Paul Pogba, guys that have been at good teams as dons that can just do it all. They join the teams they've joined, and it's not that they're bad players. It's just you see them in a more human element. It's a team game. They're just one man. Saka leaving would hurt so much. I mean, it is what it is, bro. Like, you know, he's got my blessing to leave, actually, if he wants to. I want him to stay. One love for that 50k subs loading. Big up DG. He has my blessing to leave if he wanted to. He works with integrity. He's always played with his head up. You know, he's always tried to improve. He's always acted in the right way. It's the game. It is what it is. If someone can offer you stuff that we can't offer you, then it is what it is. It's the same way that maybe Ben White and Ramsdale looked at it and said, Brighton and Bournemouth, or Anderlecht and Lokonga, you lot can give us something, really and truly. So I don't know what all that's about. So I can only deal with what I see. I mean, Saka could leave with the game's the game, bro. I can't begrudge someone for wanting a career short. I can't begrudge someone for wanting to better their life, to play at better systems and whatnot. It's like leaving a job. You're obviously going to join a company that you think is better for your personal development, or they're doing more innovative things and the rest of it. It's crazy. I can't begrudge him, but if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. Just make sure you got replacements. In which, ironically, it could be Gabriel Jesus in it, really. So yeah, just make sure you've got them plans in place. If you got them plans in place, you can do what you want, man. Twitch gang, one love for you lot. Obviously, making sure you're doing up the polls and whatnot. Appreciate that. Make sure you're joining Twitch Interactive and that. He's saying we saying DG Saka to Liverpool. Maybe if he does it, he does it, innit? Like, I can't, like, I really don't care. Like, obviously, it would hurt to see him go, but the world is going to actually keep spinning. Like I said, I've seen Henry leave this football club, Vieira leave this football club, and for me, it don't make sense being upset if we're on one thing and he's on another thing. What do you expect? You know, it's almost like Grealish at Villa. If that team is offering you stuff and we're only doing something, there's only some point of, you know, being love, and that can only take you so far, really. It's crazy. Saka will thrive under Pep. Will he take him a season? But will he get game time? There'll be 5 subs next season. Obviously, Saka's probably going to play less at City, but I think he'll get substantial game time. You know, he can play on the right, on the left. He can play as a left back. He can actually do a shift in as a right back. You got to remember, there was a time under Mikel Arteta, everyone forgets, but when we was playing behind closed doors, maybe because of a lack of personnel, and I don't think it's something for Saka to do in the future, but do you not remember, he actually played as a left-sided centre mid. So I think there's game time for him. You know, he probably have to settle himself, but yeah, man. Us selling our upcoming stars will just repeat the same process all over again, my man DG. Of course, but if you're not, you know, if you're not seeing the project to the end, it's dead. Do you think Liverpool's Mane, Salah, at a time when Firmino was doing his thing and all the others, you think they're going to stay at Liverpool for all of what Klopp's doing if they're not going to win trophies? They might want to stay, but they might, if the other big boys come for them, they might say, you know what, the career's short. Crazy, man. Even if Saka goes, we still have Smith Rowe, Martinelli, and Odegaard. I get Saka as the star boy, but come on now. I mean, all of them can leave. In my head, I've accepted Martinelli's leaving one day. I've accepted Odegaard's getting back to Real Madrid, and I've accepted Saka's not going to be here forever. All that matters is Arsenal's fallback plan and making peas, really and truly. Just, we lost Sessa and Henry, blood. Really, Saka, as much as I love, been on the scene for 2-3 years. Come on, man. In all seriousness, big up DG. Love your content and consistency, Miles. Appreciate that, my guy. If this was the DG Nation badge, we got to 46 subs. I appreciate the support you guys give me, man. One love for all of them ones there. Let's make another timestamp. Saka leave, so what, man? Elite baller. I'm gassing it about elite. Love the guy, but crazy, man. Saka's listen. For me, well, for a lot of people, Saka's our player of the season. No one can say nothing to him, even when he was going on his little droughts. No one can say nothing. He's carried this club on his shoulders, and that's why he has my blessing. Really, if he's not on none of that anymore, then he can cut. Like, big up DG, 85 million for Saka. He's saying, I mean, 80 million got Maguire, bro. I'm trying to sheg it. You know, need 100 million. Something unreal, something that he's not worth. You know. Ben White, when we bought him, was not worth 50 million. Sure as hell, Declan Rice is not worth 150 million. Harry Maguire definitely is not worth 80 million. Any other English player, feel free to insert some examples, people. We need to be zanging. It's crazy. Smash the like button, people. A man said we're under 60. We're doing poor, boy. Saka's got 2 years left, a year plus an extension. Well, a 1-year option, similar to the one United invoked in Paul Pogba's contract this season that just went. Keep your opinions and questions on whatnot coming, people. Would you sell Saka and buy Tammy and Shamaka? Not necessarily. Kane 150. I haven't seen that, but fair enough. Nunes ain't it. Lukaku situation. Decent goal scorer. Can't hold up a ball. Link up play to save his life. Bit harsh with the link up play, but fair play. All that matters is how we manage the finances. No one is bigger than the club. Gakpo and Gnabry would be good replacements. Sancho costs bags and Saka is worth more. Exactly. And he's taking his place in the England squad. In my opinion, as long as Arsenal finish in the top 5 next year, Saka signs the new deal for another 2 years and we must get in the Champions League in those 2 years. I think Saka just, if I'm Saka, I'm just genuinely asking, what is the project? How do I tie into it? What sort of players are you looking to bring in? Keep it moving. Saka is not worth more than Sancho. Stop that. I mean, if Sancho costs 70-odd million and Saka's been a great player for us and Maguire costs 80, Arsenal are entitled to seek a similar fee or more for Sancho. Whether you think he's worth it or not, like, this is the game with English players. That's the point being made and raised. You know, don't get emotional looking at this player and that player and that player and this player. This is the market. Don't want Saka to go, but if the money is pumped back into the squad on top of funds available, I'm not against it. Not if it's the balance. But I mean, selling Saka beyond that would make no sense to me because it's a bit like selling Gabriel, the centre back. Yeah, you'd make money, but you'd have to cut off. You'd have to cut off. You're cutting off your nose to spite your face. What are you talking about? And you paid the money up front. Listen. If Arsenal were to sell Saka right now, they're entitled to ask for a similar fee with Sancho. That's the only point. If you can't take heed of that, then you don't need to argue with your dads. In the same way, if I'm selling a young centre-back, or if Joe Bloggs has had a good season and United want to buy him, I'm saying, well, you paid 80 million for Maguire. This guy's done this and that. 50 million for Wan-Bissaka and things like that. These are the things. It's not about what a player is necessarily worth. It's about what you can finesse. Please take your Jadon Sancho or player knickers off, please. We're here to talk football. We're not here to do this other bullshit. Like, if you're on that, please, cut, please. Thank you. That's a United fan saying it. That's the only point. Please, if you're doing all this player war stuff, please cut. Because I'm actually too tired to be dealing with it, really and truly. We're here to talk football. We're not here to do my dad's stronger than your dad and all this nonsense. But allow me with it. Thank you. Bless up everyone. Keep him at all costs. Get Saka tied down for 5 years. Pay him his bag. Then make sure City or Liverpool or anyone pays a premium to get him. He's 20. He should be able to invest 2 years in the project. Saka is in that group of tier 2 group of youngsters under Mbappe and Haaland. So getting under 100 million for him would be terrible business on our end. And I can't lie, United fans can't talk to me about overrating players. I think that's fucking cheeky. Tony Martial, Wan-Bissaka's better than Trent. Martial's better than Mbappe. Didn't score a fucking league goal at Sevilla. Who else is there? Bailly better than Van Dijk. Maguire better than Van Dijk. De Gea better than certain keepers, certain legends. Luke Shaw, the best left back in the league. My point is not to make this about United fans. It's every now and again I see other fans, even Arsenal fans, when we're talking about other things, try and do this. We're better than you. Every fan talks nonsense. Come on now. Please. We have to get Champions League next season or within the next 3. How dare you, Martial is class. Ballon d'Or clause. I didn't say Martial's not a good player. I didn't say it. I remember speaking to Liverpool fans. You can go through my old tweets. They were telling me Gnabry don't get into that Liverpool squad. All right. I'm not saying the contract isn't a thing, Ross. But you can't. Certain men are saying that Arsenal that is nonsense to even suggest that. Stop doing the Arsenal tax belittling things. It's not making sense. Facts. The transfer market is volatile right now. Saka is worth more than Sancho, and if you're a United fanboys, don't see that you lost like your league title dreams last season. The hell. And that's actually probably where Declan Rice has done himself dirty as well, signing that new deal. If I'm honest, just on that topic. But less of all of that, man. Liverpool is broke. That's just a stupid rumor. I mean, half it, Real Madrid said they're broke and suddenly they're finding peas. I mean, these clubs with creative accountants, they can do what they want, man. DG, do you think we'll get Jesus? I don't know, man. Like, right now, that's the talking point, but I don't know. As I always say, we'll talk, we'll speculate, we'll do all of that, but that's about it. Bro, Foden's worth of madness. Foden's worth over 100, really. Like, Foden's worth of madness. Whether you think he's that or not, this is the game. English clubs have too much money. The players carry a premium. This is why we all get zanged by foreign teams. That's why United got zanged for Pogba. That's why, that's why we got zanged for Pepe. That's why certain man got zanged for Ndombele. Every Premier League club is over. That's why Chelsea got zanged for Lukaku. Come on, man. It's brazy, man. It's brazy, man. It's brazy. Tammy or Jesus, oof. I mean, I feel a lot safer up front with Tammy Abraham up front because he's got more of a CV, but I'd rather Jesus. I think Arsenal need to go and buy both. Saliva, I don't know, man. I know a lot of footballers spit, but I don't know if Arsenal be trying to sign Saliva, my guy. Arsenal offers the most for Jesus. Other clubs can't give him the game time. It all depends, game time, project, all these things. I'm not saying Arsenal can't sell him a project, but we're not the only choice for Gabriel Jesus. I mean, he's been linked with Real Madrid. I can't begrudge any player that goes and says, I want to go Real Madrid. You can't turn that down, but you're not going to be important like that there. Even if you go to Spurs, I hate to say it because it's Spurs, but, Kulusevski looks like he's locked down that right wing spot, sorry. Son and Kane, you're not getting ahead of them. I'm sure, Spurs fans would love having him in their squad, but it's not adapting. You know, he's never going to go to United or Liverpool for obvious reasons, but I'm sure he could get in their squad. Is it necessarily adapting? There's a spot for you at Arsenal. You know, even if you weren't going to necessarily play up front, you know, he could give us an avenue to rotate with Saka. Saka could go out to the left at times. I want options. I want Martinelli to be able to play up front. I want, you know, Eddie Nketiah's form might be so amazing that Jesus has to go on the right, Saka has to go on the left, or, you know, Gab Jesus has to go on the left, Saka on the right, or Martinelli has to get in this, or Smith Rowe has to get in this, or Smith Rowe has to play 10, so Odegaard has to play as an 8, or one of them has to get dropped out. We need competition. We need different options. Simple as that. It's as simple as that, man. Simple as that. Xhaka staying for one more season. Well, my man Matic has gone to Thingy, innit? Gone to Roma, different sort of player than Xhaka, but left-footed and midfielder, experienced. I'm not going to say they won't take Xhaka, but almost, is there any need for Jose to go out there and grab Granit Xhaka, or we're just going to have to wait until Granit Xhaka is linked with another club? Unpopular opinion, there's players that need to leave, and I think to a degree that isn't Xhaka. I think Xhaka is one I would sit there and say, well, listen, certain offers come, you're free to go. If you say you want to leave, you can go. I'm not going to force you out, though. I think he would be an okay squad player. I just don't think he should be starting week in, week out, because you're going to see what you see in it, the good, bad, the ugly. Some better periods, some more, some better periods than others, some really good purple patches. But ultimately, like a lot of these players, just not good enough over the whole 38-game calendar. Or what he offers at his best that I might praise isn't quite good enough. It's like Nottingham Forest coming up from the Premier League now, coming into the Premier League, sorry. You know, they're not going to be able to rely on every member of that squad. Some people that help them get promoted at the Championship is going to get dropped. I think that's one thing Arsenal do bad. Sometimes we take players that might be okay as rotation options and squad players. We make them starters, or we do little things like that where ultimately it's, you know, it's a step too hard, too high for them. It's too far for them. They're just not able to do it. It's as simple as that, really. And I think we get gassed that we're a bit too romantic in this as well at Arsenal Football Club, if I'm completely honest. Xhaka has to bust out to Roma. Shamaka or Nunes, who you taking? I'm more like Nunes, if I'm honest. Matic and Xhaka, that midfield has no legs. Charles. Shamaka and Jesus, sign them both, and we're good up front. I think they're capping with us. Tony and Jesus. I'm not really on the Ivan Tony thing now, man. Chelsea didn't really get ripped off for Lukaku. Inter paid 70 million. He won what? He won the leagues. What? Chelsea got bumped because they paid close to 100 million for a position that they need to identify, and within 6 months it was dead. His biggest highlight is winning the club championship, which is great, you know, that's great. But it's ripping Pablo Maurice, not really doing anything else. It didn't work. Said it weren't going to work, you know, he was not going to work. The logic between buying Lukaku is great, but Chelsea got zanked. What did they get? You know, Lukaku spent the large period on the bench playing, you know, Havertz is not a striker. He can play there, but he's not a striker for a real. He's ahead of you. There's been times Werner's looked like there's more of a use for you. And I'm sure there's every other player. What are you talking about? Of course, Chelsea. You know, obviously, I'm an Arsenal fan. I'll always try and take advantage of Chelsea situations, but they got zanked. The point being, Premier League clubs get zanked. It's not just Arsenal, Tottenham, United, and Chelsea. Certain man paid 50 million for Sigurdsson. Certain man bought Dele Alli. This is a fact. We can't argue with that. He got zanked. What has Lukaku did for them? You know, Lukaku was seen as the icing on top of the cake. Lukaku has had a worse return than Pogba. It don't make sense. It was done before it started. Like, would you rather one of those in the poll, or Adeyemi? I mean, I would love Kareem Adeyemi, but that ship has sailed, at least for now, innit? DJ, are you excited and nervous about what Jesus is going to say about where he's going, or am I the only one? TJ, I'll be real, like, not really moved by it. You know, if you want to sign for the club, sign for the club. If not, keep it moving. If I'm completely honest with you, what I'm more excited about or nervous about is once that window closes, I don't want to hear we tried. All right, cool. You tried for Jesus. You tried for Calvert-Lewin. You tried for Darwin Núñez. You tried for this guy. But trying is not good enough. If I try to pass my drive, if I want to be a lorry driver and I try to pass my driving test and I fail, I'm not going to get anywhere, am I? So try and only go so far. And I'm specifically technical director now, really and truly. Have all your targets. You know, I'll even cut you some slack because, as we know, some players that are dead set to move have a change of heart, like we saw with Mbappe at Real Madrid. You know, certain players, you know, we might be bringing someone in, but it's reliant on somebody leaving. The moving parts don't happen. I'll cut you that slack. I'll even cut the club slack that I know you can't. It's not FIFA. You can't do everything in one window. You can't bring in everybody and sell everyone. But the bulk of the business needs to be done. I don't think I'm asking for too much when I say make some ground over Saliba, Saka, Martinelli's new contracts. You know, at this moment in time, if Eddie's staying, confirm the Eddie thing. You know, get the obvious ones off the book. Hector Bellerin doing all he can to really keep it moving. Torreira, you know, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Leno, and there's bare others really and truly. You know, get a decent amount of them off the wage bill or get them gone at the club. Bare the guys that we forgot are actually here. Actually, Pablo Marie, you know, bring in a striker and a centre mid. I would love, you know, 2 strikers, 2 centre mids, a fullback on either side. But I don't think that's going to happen. So if you could bring me a midfielder, a striker, and a push, I would say left back. You know, with Saliba coming back next season, maybe you can run Ben White right back if Tomiyasu's got any problems. I don't think I'm asking for too much. But if that don't get done, I know what time it is next season. You're not going to get closer to top 4 and things like that. You might go on the little purple patch like we've done. You might run it all the way close. But ultimately, in them little crunch matches or them crunch periods throughout the course of the 38-game calendar, we're going to let ourselves down. You know, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing again and again. And being surprised. And for me, I'm with the discount of COVID, I'm on to my club. We need to start the season better because whatever we say, we have again, what happened at the start of the season, whether it was COVID, not bringing in signings, whatever happened, we need to start the season a lot better. And I don't even know who we're playing. Pardon me. We need to start the season a lot better. You know, the season is starting earlier. So you know, if you can bring in players sooner rather than later, arguably helps you as well, really and truly. There's not too much turnaround. And the gloves needs to be off for these players, for managers that were given new deals, for money that was spent, for technical directors, for owners that commit to this project. I don't think I'm asking for too much. It's a results-driven business. And if you hype up the thing and people get a reputation, then, you know, you've got to be held to some sort of standard. Or am I wrong? Bro, why are you shouting, bro? 2023, but an option until 2024. Saka is 100 mil. You're losing too many players to compete in all comps. Realistically, you need to get 4th. You need to go as far as you can in Europa League. FA Cup, you want to get to the final. I've seen us do this before with a similar bulk of players. League Cup, get to where you're going, really. And half of the players that want to step above, you can't just have players staying. Of course, we're going to have to keep some, but you get the point. How much you saying for Saka? Well, if I'm City, I'm trying to say 60, 70 because of the year/2 years left in his deal. If I'm Arsenal, I'm asking for a deal reaching 100, you know, really and truly. Let him use him as a left back, man. Multifunctional done. Do you think if we don't have a big direct striker with aerial play, teams will find it easier to, or you haven't got any mitigating plan? You're gonna make you're gonna play against yourself, as we see half the time. And when you've got, for me, a number 8 that wants the ball, a winger that wants to dribble, a striker that doesn't necessarily have to be bare strong but can hold up the ball, win fouls, this gets you further up the field. These are outlets. We don't really have outlets like that. Xhaka, too many touches in midfield. El Nene, not on that at all. Partey, hardly ever about. You know, Odegaard has to drop way too deep to get onto the ball consistently. The same goes for Saka. The same goes for who's on the left. These players, anyways, there's not too many players at Arsenal that want to run in behind. They all want the ball to feet. It's no coincidence Martin Odegaard's highlights at Arsenal are when we're against the run of play, counter-attacking or putting moves together. He's on the edge of the area or picking out passes, or he's doing the little flicks where Saka and Nketiah aren't finishing them. I want my attacking players to be in dangerous areas. Saka's already getting doubled, tripled up against. So we need to make other movements and other areas on the field to exploit teams. As much as it's about signings, we need to improve our movement, our charts creation, just fucking shooting. There's so much things. Signing players is not just going to make things better, or United would be doing what City are doing. You need to have a project. You need to have a system. We need to improve a lot. I actually think we've improved defensively. If I look at it by statistics, I'm chatting shit to you lot because we've shipped a lot of goals, you know. And again, I don't know how you install resilience because I think you're born with it and you're from a certain makeup, but you've got to be doing all of that as well. Interesting debates, people, with you guys, man. Interesting comments, man. Keep them flowing, people. Keep them flowing. Almost where we need to be in terms of likes. If City can slap 45 million on Gab Jesus with 1 year left, we should get at least 60, 70 for Saka. And there's a couple of others. Mane, they're trying to, Liverpool are saying a mad thing as well. But, you know, at some point, this is the start of the window. At some point, they're going to have to be like, yo, you know, this can't change. It's like us. We tried to play chicken with Partey. Oh, we're not going to pay his release clause. Try and negotiate with us. And then we had to save face and do this thing. Assuming we sign Telemans and play 4-3-3 next season, who is the current Partey backup? Lokonga isn't ready yet. Xhaka's too slow. Maybe on and do you see this as an urgency in the window? I more want players whose strengths are breaking their lines. Just because you're a number 8, don't mean you can't defend. I mean, we'd all love Basuma or one of them sort of players in there. I think Lokonga can be the backup. I think El Nene is El Nene. You know, really, he's good for his 4 or 5 games a season. So yeah, man. And I don't see us signing Basuma for what it's worth, but I'll have it. I'm taking that in the squad if it's possible. But yeah, man, apart from that, I can't say I can see it. Any players you're keen to see next season? Maybe see Martinelli as a striker. I'm all for Project Martinelli striker, but I don't know what we're doing, man. Saka is currently valued at 85 million. Again, I said if I'm City, I'm trying to come in for 60 odd million. If I'm Arsenal, I'm asking for 70, 80, 100 million. Please, by all means, criticize what I say, but please listen to what the fuck I have actually said. DG, do you think Arteta fits this Arsenal job? Well, in terms of the project, clearly they deemed it. That's why they gave him a new deal. DG got brilliant football knowledge. You should be a coach or agent, my guy. Real one. I appreciate that. Maybe one day, man. Some teams are just good with sales. United can't sell, and when they do, it's for peanuts or free. Chelsea offloaded Hazard for 80 million with 1 year left on his deal. Surely Saka is not dumb enough to go City after other players that have gone to big teams for big money and flopped. That don't make sense, my guy. By that means you should never try anything in life. You know, it's football. It doesn't work out at a club. You ain't killed no one. You ain't been killed. Sign for another team. What? They're going to call you a flop. Okay. Life continues. And that's how it should be. Like, you'd rather, what if? Because you'd still probably walk away with a lot of knowledge, a wealth of knowledge. Like, going to City, I could not bother. If Saka's head is turned by City, I'm not going to begrudge him because, you know, the imagination of what Pep Guardiola could teach you about your position. Everything you think you know about football in your little 20 years or whatever Saka is, Pep Guardiola would show him, no, I'm going to teach you some other things. And again, thought-provoking stuff as well. The best coaches make their players able to ask questions. You know how many of these players are going to end up being coaches under Pep Guardiola? I mean, I say under, Pep's here and these guys are all doing coaching and stuff like you see with company and that. That's probably why I want Telemans at the Emirates, if I'm honest with you, because I think he's done his UEFA A license. So are you a thinkers man in midfield? Are you a bit like Odegaard in that you try and be a coach on the field and all these things? We hear Cedric does that with Ramsdale. I don't know about that one, but yeah, man. Who cares what City come in for? Arsenal don't have to sell. Smart cookie, you're not using common sense. We're talking. You know, if you don't care, exit. I'm not in the mood for nonsense today. I can't cap. I want Dominic Calvert-Lewin as backup/alternative. He can head a ball and is better than Eddie. I mean, if you could do it for a cheaper sort of option, why not? Really? If you can save some bucks, why not? If not, then boy, it's a peak thing. He would get games that City offers something different to what we have. Ten Hag is not better than Oli. To be honest, I don't really care about Ten Hag or Oli or any of that. It's nothing to do with me. We need to get back to being known for a well-structured defense. Like that's when we was best in terms of attacking. But yeah, it deserted us. You know, old habits, die hard. And as you saw, towards the end of the season, first half of the season, we was actually improving somewhat defensively. But then, we started creeping back into old habits. And I would say the goal we conceded against Everton, where again, we don't follow runners. Van der Beek, free run, the goal against Leeds. When it was one-sided traffic, one little set piece, they went and pull it in. That kind of sums up everything beyond the obvious, if I'm completely honest with you. So it is what it is regarding that. So yeah, man. I'll be so real if City bid 80 plus for Saka. Arsenal have to say, I don't know about have to, but yeah, Saka won't go City. At least not in the near future. True Pepper's an absolute madman. Grealish gonna show these man next year. Crazy, man. It's absolutely brazy. Absolutely brazy. What other questions have we got before we get into this transfer stuff? Let me scroll the way up. I hear you still. What are your opinions on Basuma sending hints to Arsenal doing a come and get me? I mean, he wants to leave, innit? He's got a year left on his deal. He's trying to, I think he's on joining anyone really. I think he'll join Spurs. I think he'll join Arsenal. I think he'll join United. I think if City, not that they will, they'll go for him. I think he'll join apparently Monaco won him. I think he'll join another team. I just think the cycle's kind of over. And there's a couple of players. I think the Douglas Luiz one's kind of gone quiet. We got to remember it's what's earlier than early, like super early in the transfer market. A lot of things needed to be done. There's a lot of moving parts. You've got internationals, you've got holidays, things taking, especially them bigger transfers, they all takes time. So you're probably going to see things happen. But yeah, I'm watching these 2023 contracts. The Ruizes, Douglas Luiz, Fabian Ruiz, Telemans. I think Ruben Neves is 2023, but he might actually be 2024, people. And there's many, irrelevant to Arsenal, but Mane, Gab Jesus, Salah on paper, Firmino on paper. Not everybody's going to leave, but you get the point. And I'm sure there's a bag of other examples as well, man. Do you think 5 subs will suit pressing teams with squad depth? I think it will suit everyone. DG, would you take Zinchenko and play him in midfield like he does for Ukraine? He'd play a lot. I can't say that if Zinchenko played under me, he's undoubtedly every week going to play in midfield, but he gets suitable appearances in midfield. I like the versatility. For me, he could play in midfield. He's actually seen him play out wide. He gets significant game time in the middle of the park, especially with our injury records. And obviously, when that inevitable Kieran Tierney injury comes, you know what has to happen. Saka leaving Arsenal is like Foden. It's like saying Foden would leave City. Okay, DG, would this be the final straw for you this season if Partey and Tierney get lengthy injuries again? Yeah, no. I'd say yeah, because I want suitable. I mean, you're here all the time. Clearly, I want suitable replacements for when these guys are not here, or guys that can turn them into squad players or rotation options or whatever, But now, man, this team party to the wheels fall off. Tierney's my guy. Tierney's my guy. Riding to the wheels fall off. Pause. Tierney FC, man. Really. For the amount of clean sheets we got, we didn't really see games out well. That was a good learning. I mean, it was, come on, man, when Ramsdale's pulling off big boy free kick saves against Leicester and that, we didn't shut games out well. We just won, so people shut the hell up about it. But game management, first 10 minutes, last 10 minutes of the first half, last 5 minutes of the first half, starting the games better, dealing with the mentality against Spurs. I think it was 90 seconds into the second half, they bagged that third goal. How many times have we said what is being said at halftime? There's so much mentality issues that I think there's been good things installed mentally in us this season, but there's so much more to be done. And some of it has to be done with Mikel Arteta. A lot of it, the players have to, want to take heed. But you're right. 13 losses. And again, I think we only came from behind once to win. How many times? Not many times. No one can really, because City dominate teams. There's not too many times City probably had to. But last game of the season, they were 2-0 down. I'm sure the 2 games Liverpool have played against Wolves this season, they've had to do that as well. But then we'll put new wheels on, man. Yes, DG, been a while. I know Saka might go from long time. Jan window showed Saka our club is run on a rage looking for a wish. We got money, but run by novices. Saka wants trophies. I think we missed a trick on Bruno Guimaraes. I hope they can redeem themselves and bring in quality players that fit what we're trying to do. Trust, like that game against Newcastle, I'm just looking like you're in the wrong shirt, really. But you snooze, you lose, man. You diver, things happen. They both hold their clubs on their heart. It would take a lot for either of them to leave. That was my point. I mean, do you know Saka? Like, I don't think you're wrong, but I always find these comments funny. Do we know Saka? It's a job. I'm sure the man loves Arsenal. But how many of you have been in relationships? Some of you with boys, that's cool. A lot of you, you know, you've had girlfriends where you might love them, you might like them, you might whatever, but it's not enough. Like, love is not enough. You think Jack Grealish doesn't love Aston Villa? A chance was presented to him. You think Ramsdale, being a Yorkshireman, is not fond of Sheffield United? You know, all Ben White's ever known is Brighton. I'm sure there's many examples among the things. Rooney came to love Man United. He still tried to bust out. Vieira loved Arsenal. He still tried to skate off. Henry still tried to skate off. Tony Adams was on skating off. Half of these old school legends were on busting out. You know, Gerrard tried to go get the Chelsea move a couple of times before the drillers then went to his house and said it's not adapting. Love can only take you so far. I get the point, but it's dead. And for Saka, he's still, as I said earlier, he's still at that wow period where I'm playing for Arsenal. Now that's coming off. I'm an England international. Arguably, I'm getting called up all the time for England, playing week in, week out for Arsenal, and I'm showing it. You know, it's no longer, oh, fucking hell, man. I used to play with these guys on FIFA. No, man's part of this thing now. So we'll have to see. That only goes so far. You think if it was Man City of old, like what City used to be, and Foden wasn't presented with something, you think man are not busting out? Come on, man. Come on, man. And at the end of the day, what is love for these football clubs going to get them? Because right now they're in their 20s. There's going to come if they all stay, you know, I'm sure City fans would love Foden to stay till his days are done at footballing level. Saka as well. But at some point, you're going to be 31, 32, 33, 34, 40, 35 or so. And all you're going to get is, thank you, give you a testimonial. Safe. You know, that's it. So you have to, your career is short. It's long, but it's short same time, man. So these lot got to do what they need to do, man. Love is dead, bro. Need to look at this thing calculated. I think right now, the one thing that I think Arsenal has over City for Saka is that he can do no wrong here. The level of scrutiny, there is a lot of scrutiny, but it's not scrutiny like that. Look at what's going on with Grealish, you know. And yeah, but that's going to come naturally. They can stay at their club. I'm not saying Saka isn't going to stay there, but there's going to come a time. Love isn't anything. Do I think Saka's leaving this window? No, but love is dead. Love don't pay bills, bro. You know, love don't pay bills. Love don't put meals on the table. Love is, bro. Man, if you want to be a one club man like certain man, you're not going to have much to show for yourself. I used to think like that, but them days are done, bro. Career too short for that sentiment. Exactly. I'm not saying Saka's going to bust out now, but it's naive to think that love alone is going to play a part. And to be honest, Saka's a dickhead if you're just looking at this thing with love, which is good for me because it means you're staying at Arsenal, innit? But I don't think Saka's a smart lad and he's got a very good agent. So I don't think that's something they're going to have to worry about really and truly. So yeah, man, it is what it is. Even Kane tried to bust out. His agent just didn't have the juice. Like they tried. They tried right now. Oh, yeah, man. I love this Conte thing, man. We're winning. Oh, Harry Kane. He tried to dip. He tried. It even come out the other day that in February, Kane's agents were told, nah, bro, we're not going for you anymore. We're doing this Haaland thing. But to be honest, if he left tomorrow, you'd have to accept it, bro. Love is good for Love Island until it's time for the recoupling. Trust. Or until that Italian brother came in yesterday, innit? Davide. Soon as he started spitting the bars, it was crazy. He bust out, bro. Do you forgetting Grealish was on joining Spurs? Before Grealish even became 30, he was on busting out to Spurs. Don't you remember? He went mad. So, yeah, man. And Kane needs to return, man. Kane needs to return, bro. Good talking points, people. You look on fire. Let's get into this transfer news now, man. Let's actually go through some of this stuff now. Transfer news. Big up you lot. Bro, get over it, man. Bruno Guimaraes didn't sign, we'll live. You know, for me, it's not even the fact that we didn't get Bruno Guimaraes. It's just that when Dons are there, 115 likes, keep running up the like button, please, people. When Dons are there, like, just do this thing. Like, Guimaraes was there for a minute, you know. Again, to put into context, before Guendouzi even touched out on loan, do you not remember when Edu was allegedly trying to give them money and Guendouzi, Leon I'm referring to, for that? Them our days we was linked with him. You snooze, you lose. Our loss is Newcastle's gain. Now, obviously, Newcastle are not us. They've obviously offered him favourable terms to him and his agent, but I'm not using that to begrudge Newcastle. You've got to use what you got. They gassed him. They told him what they're trying to do. That's what you got to do. In the same way, if we sign players, we might not be able to win major honours, but you could come here, be part of what we're trying to build, etc., etc. Unless you're Liverpool, City, Real Madrid, them sort of clubs there where either historically or what you're doing right now, it needs no introduction. This is the things you have to do, man. Remember, Kane was playing golf with Gary Neville talking about moving on. Love is conditional, bro. Owen's daughter's brazy. To be fair, you shouldn't be on that show if you're 19, bro. What life have you lived? The only thing I could think of is if we hold on to Saka as long as Villa held on to Grealish. I mean, if we could do that, that's great, man. DG, just wait till these men get bombed by Gal, then we'll see about this love team. I don't know. When I see the thing with Alwa, I just have to assume there's something that us normal football fans don't know. Not just in relation to signing for Arsenal, but like they're just there for all the for Alwa, Juventus, Arsenal, City, everyone on their nan wanted you, gassing you up. What's happened? I know your season ain't been amazing, ain't been terrible, but what's happened? It's crazy. We'll have to see. Exactly, Grealish Premier League medal without really doing nothing for it. It's crazy. Very crazy, but this is what you have to do. Sorry, people. Let's organize these articles properly. Now, again, good news and bad news. Well, it depends where you read. Do you want the good news or the bad news first, people? Before I share my screen. We ain't carrying on until someone picks. But you're all there. I feel like a teacher. 126 likes. Keep running that up, people. Bad news. All right, cool. Bad news. Fair enough. We'll start with the older article. Manchester City ramp up interest in Arsenal and England star Bukayo Saka as they look to steal a march on rivals Liverpool, with Gunners yet to tie winger down to a new contract as he enters the final 2 years of his deal. Do I think both of them teams mentioned are interested? Of course, you know, Saka, Mane, they're moving parts. I would say for City, it's always quite volatile, whether their players are contracted or not. You know, Ferran Torres just busts out. There's always little rumours that Gundogan, Mahrez, Bernardo, Sterling, every now and again, there's rumours them sides out. People are going to leave. Klopp's always talking about stuff. You know, the best teams in the league want the best players. Of course, you want Bukayo Saka. It makes sense, really and truly. So I don't begrudge that. I think a bit of this article's being leveraged by the fact of we're trying to get him to sign a new deal. If them two teams ask for you, of course, for Liverpool, boy, I couldn't say no. Salah's not going to be there forever. You know, they're players I describe for the present. You know, Mane, Firmino, Salah, all these guys. You know, there's roles are opening up, and you know, Klopp might be saying to you, "Oh, you, Carvalho, Harvey Elliott, Konate, you're part of the new generation," and all of these things. Pep, we've been speaking about. If Pep asks for you to sign for your club, for me, you don't say no. This just the way you could learn about football, better yet, relearn is crazy. And the obvious of what these teams are doing. Saka is central to our project. He's our player of the season. I think every Arsenal fan probably doesn't expect this 20-year-old to be at the club in the next 3-4 years if we keep doing what we're doing and whatnot. I think Saka is staying. I don't think he's in a rush to leave, but he should be open to considering everything, people, you know. He'd be silly, you know. He'd be silly. He'd be very silly. So, yeah, I think there is a lot to consider, people. 131 likes, 400 of you locked in, 300 odd on YouTube. Come on, people. Unexpected higher bills or Saka is leaving. Extending the young winger's deal is one of the Gunners' priorities this summer. Saka is entering the final 2 years of his current deal at the Emirates Stadium, and his agent done it well, you know. He deserved it. His first new deal was way overdue. And since he signed that new deal whenever till now, he's become a dramatically improved player and he's risen in stature. He's not just a young player at this football club. He's one of the first names, if not the first name on the team sheet. He's a key reason as to why this little top four shout even happened or why we've actually finished fifth. He's had a good season. We needed double figures. Can you do it again? Because if you was to sign for City and you don't, then they're going to ask questions. At Arsenal, they will, but not necessarily. So yeah, people. The Premier League champions are now closely monitoring developments regarding Saka's future as he heads into the final 2 years of his contract at the Emirates, and that doesn't surprise me. Same way we're allegedly monitoring what's going on with Gabriel Jesus, allegedly. Along with their biggest domestic rivals, Liverpool, City have earmarked the 20-year-old Saka as a future target. And though any move this summer is currently considered unlikely, City have begun showing increased interest in Saka at a critical point in Arsenal's attempts to tie him down to a new long-term contract. And you can bet his agent will leverage that against us as well, people, which, as he should do, his agent will work a blinder, really and truly. His agent's going to get paid, got paid off Eddie, going to get paid off this, got some change off Kion Edwards, is what it is. Securing Saka on a new and improved contract that reflects his rise in status for club and country was one of Arsenal's priorities this summer. I mean, he should move. In my opinion, he should move towards one of the most highest earners at this football club. But initial discussions had taken place because there's Lacazette was on more than you. Pepe is probably technically on more than you. A couple of players are probably on more than you at this moment. And if I'm Saka, I don't agree with none of that. Initial discussions had taken place towards the end of the season, with the Gunners keen to avoid allowing Saka's contract to run into its final 2 years. However, Arsenal are aware of the impact Champions League qualification would have on their summer plans, including finalising a new deal for Saka, who is yet to play in Europe's top club competition. Well, why tie down other players then? And that aim is now only likely to have been complicated by Arsenal being pipped to fourth by fierce rivals Tottenham. With his current contract situation and their more immediate transfer priorities, any deal for Saka would likely prove too costly for either of his Premier League admirers in the upcoming transfer window, which technically opens this Friday. City have captured their top target, Haaland, blah, blah, blah. Liverpool are heading into the summer focusing on strengthening centre mid. Arsenal's failure to make the Champions League has increased their hopes that Saka's long-term Emirates future will remain unsolved beyond this window, a situation that will only see his value fall the longer that remains the case and plays into his suitor's hands. Well, that's true. So, yeah, that's the bad news. If you think this is good news, City's stance on transfer pursuit of Bukayo Saka amid uncertain Arsenal future. Manchester City have distanced themselves from reports they are considering making a move for Bukayo Saka. Arsenal are in the process of trying to secure his club future, as you can see there. They also want 50 million for Ake, allegedly. So, yeah, people, it is what it is. They've already added Haaland. They've got Julian Alvarez. We want Zinchenko. Maybe there's something to be done there. And he did score against them. So, they know full well what young Chile is on, people. So, yeah, there's that. From that away to this, Shamaka's transfer, Sassuolo director confirms initial talks have begun for Arsenal link striker, people. Giovanni Cannavali has said, what has he specifically said? Our desire is to keep most players in the team, and there's nothing concrete for now. There have been some contacts with some clubs for Shamaka and others. Perhaps the national team will make the interest grow. Maybe he's just ordering his players out for stuff, people. Shamaka himself has said, I don't read these things. The numbers are made up by clubs. For me, the pitch and having fun is what counts. So he just focuses on what he focuses on. Fair play to the lad, man. What can you say about that, really? Just gets on with it. I do like I don't know him too well as a footballer, but I do like his mentality. That is one thing that has struck me. Obviously, spin the block for more Arsenal stuff. Interest in Arsenal target Gianluca Shamaka is growing, admits Sassuolo CEO. Now, obviously, if Sassuolo are a selling club, they're not going to end up selling us to him, selling him to us. He's probably going to sell him to Italy. Obviously, it's like being in a marketplace or being at an auction. The more people that bid for something drives the value of something. So I'm not saying there isn't a whole list of clubs interested, especially as, he seems like one of the actual decent strikers in Europe, in which to us common football fans, there isn't. You can't really name 30 good strikers. Well, you probably could actually, but you can't. So he's probably just leveraging interest, especially because the window's just about to be open. Arsenal have been told that interest in transfer target Gianluca Shamaka is growing, and Sassuolo have already had contact from interested parties, probably including us, people. So, yeah, there's nothing concrete yet for Shamaka, just contacts with some clubs. Of course, after playing with the national team, the interest is growing, which is a bit of an underkill. Where is the other one? Where DiMarzio? Where are you? I think you're here. Again, for Shamaka, no official offers have arrived to date. He's a player who is liked abroad. Young people like Granato are in line with the profile we are looking for, following our philosophy. This guy just made a debut for Italy, really and truly. So, yeah, and this article's also gone on to say that for the moment, nothing's concrete, but Arsenal likes him. PSG have had initial talks, so we'll have to see how that one develops, man. We aren't getting this guy 100%. Would you take Saka for Jesus and Ake straight swap? No. Need some bread, bro. Need some money, man. Got to pay some bills, man. Got to pay some bills with some footballers. So that's where Shamaka's concerned, people. Let's see what this is said. No, this is... Let me zoom out a bit. Arsenal are reportedly keen on bringing Zinchenko to the Emirates this summer. We're looking for cover for Tierney, and we're also willing to use the Ukrainian in midfield. We're also allegedly edging closer to Gab Jesus signing. He's already agreed personal terms and informed friends he's in favour of a switch to the Emirates. We need to now reach a verbal agreement. Reports from Spain suggest that the Manchester City star has a verbal agreement with the club that he can leave for a fee of 38 to 43 million people. So make of that what you will. Saliba's also committed his future, well, not in terms of a new contract, but pledged his immediate future to Arsenal Football Club. We just spoke about Sassuolo. Chelsea allegedly want Gab Jesus, which obviously, again, I think it's not really right. What's going on there? But he'd be a great signing for Chelsea. But again, I don't really understand why they would go for him. I think they need to go for a proper gunman in front of goal. They've got these multifunctional system players like Gab Jesus would do well under Tuchel. But yeah, man, Darwin Núñez is picked to pick Liverpool. Don't know why I don't care about Messi and Ronaldo and Wenger. But yeah, Prem Giants want Saka. So yeah, a bit of a slow news day. Arsenal to target Richarlison. Allegedly, Arsenal could look to bring Everton striker Richarlison to the Emirates due to Edu's Brazilian connections. Pete O'Rourke has told Give Me Sport, I think having these Brazilian connections can only help in their pursuit of transfer targets. Edu, I'm sure, will be trying to use his connections to maybe try and convince Richarlison to make the move to Arsenal ahead of other clubs, because there'll be quite a bit of interest in him this summer. Any advantage that you can use and win the race for a transfer signature, I think Edu will use his connections. So, I mean, not really anything there. Don't really, that was all right. Luka Jovic looks to be going to Getafe. Haven't heard that. Napoli allegedly have had interest in William Saliba and been told where to shove it. So, yeah, man, that's that. What is this? Well, that's what we just read. What is this? Monaco want Arsenal target to replace Cesc Fabregas this transfer window, people. So this summer, this is what they're looking at. It's long story short, it says Monaco are looking at Arthur Melo. I don't really think we're that interested in Arthur Melo anymore. I think if we get Telemans, that's us. I don't think we're bringing in two midfielders per. Boy, who knows, man? I don't know why the comments aren't coming up. Apologies now, people. Richarlison, not an Arteta player. Shout out my guy, Roger. Big up DJ in the community. Who out of anybody linked to Arsenal do you think they'll actually be able to get over the line? Well, at the moment, I'd say Gab Jesus, just because of the level of the aggression in the reports and all the dotting I's and crossing T's being done. 153 likes, people. One final push to 200 and we're there. So, yeah, man. It's not a project if you sell your best young players. Let's see what happens. Sorry, but I don't trust the process. Yeah, I think we just spoke about him. And you're right. The FM Wonder Kid is making his mark, mate. Saka can't leave. Still waiting on commentators to say Xhaka to Saka to Shamaka. I mean, we lost Laka, so yeah, we can't say that. Arsenal fans kill me. Why can't we be like Liverpool and City, who are aggressive in their signings if they want, where if they can't sign a player, they move fast to other targets without any regrets? Maybe because they got Michael Edwards and the City Dons are there, innit? It's all cap. Saka ain't going anywhere. Saka does say he wants to play Champions League, so either we get it this season or he's gone. Together, like, you did all you could, but we all lost out on top four together. Martinelli will reach 15 plus goals and assists next season. Why not? Listen, the only way Saka is leaving is if he has seen no development in bringing in new players to take the pressure off him. I'd prefer Leao to Saka at City, but more expensive, I think. Saka would want to rethink where he'll play in the City team. He may be like Grealish. I mean, half of these players are all multifunctional. If you're scared of competition, then you shouldn't be at Arsenal Football Club. Like, we're not City, but we should be doing what City are doing. There should be pressure for spaces. You can't be a top professional if you're scared. Modric, once you got to Madrid, the only way is down, And for any talented midfielder, all the new ones that are coming in, shouldn't be scared of pressure. Big clubs are always going to want to sign big dog footballers. What are we talking about? But yeah, moving away from that, Arsenal handed boost in Serge Gnabry chase as Real Madrid ruled themselves out of the running. I mean, unpopular opinion, I think you could come to the Premier League. I don't think it will be for Arsenal, Arsenal have been handed a boost in their bid to sign Serge Gnabry, with Real Madrid ruling themselves out of the running. As you know, he has 1 year left on his contract and with Bayern Munich, and is believed to be weighing up his options. I don't think they'll let you and Lewandowski walk for free, But if he did walk for free, you know, who knows? A year from now, Barca might want you. Madrid might say, yeah, we do want you. You know, Thomas Tuchel's over there at Chelsea. Jurgen Klopp's over there at Liverpool. It'd be a bit greedy of City, but, you know, if they could do a little deal, I'm sure Pep wouldn't mind asking his former employers for them. So it all depends. Or maybe he could earn the bag at Newcastle. Liverpool are among the clubs reportedly interested in his services, along with Arsenal, who are keen to bring the German international back to North London. While Arsenal's position has been weakened by their failure to qualify for the Champions League next season, Gnabry is said to be open to the possibility of a return to the Emirates. And in a further boost, Real Madrid will not rival them for the winger's signature. According to Marca, the European champions have no interest in Gnabry and believe they are fully stocked in those positions, people. So, yeah. There was rumors, you know, that there's a 34 million asking price for him. And apparently he rejected a 19 million euro salary across the contract. So we'll have to see what the 26-year-old is on, people. More Richarlison stuff, I take it. Saka in March. Well, Fabrizio Romano and Saka in March. This boy really loves Arsenal. He's in love with the club, City, people in the club. He's super respectful of Arsenal and he's not planning to leave. The feelings are very good, but it's not a discussion that will take place now in March. Now, things changed. This was in March. Fabrizio Romano is not Saka's family. He's a transfer done, so we have to take a lot of it with a pinch of salt. But yeah, man, that could be cause for some sort of optimism in that we might lose him one day, just not right now, people. And that's just echoing the same shit. That's echoing that. What's this? Gab Jesus cost 50 million. In the orbit of Real Madrid, Manchester City's packed with the players around that figure. Manchester City and Gab Jesus are going to separate their paths this summer. This began to be agreed between the parties in April when the first definitive meetings took place to address the situation. Real Madrid, as journalist Antoine Midal announced, is attentive after receiving the offer. In the conversations between the English club and the footballers' reps, an understanding was reached in a friendly way. Although for none of those involved, it would be a drama to fulfill the contract, which ends in 2023, and March is preferred in this transfer window. So an exit, I guess. City considers that it's profitable to make money for him than to lose him at zero cost, even more so after the reinforcements of Haaland and Julian Alvarez, and the player sees that his successful cycle in Manchester is coming to an end. Faced with this horizon, the suitors of Gab Jesus have been taking positions better yet. The one that has sounded the loudest is Arsenal. Although there is no official proposal in England, Tottenham are also insisting we want to give Conte a guaranteed project. For its part, Chelsea, which has conveyed its interest, lags behind due to its reduced room for manoeuvre due to its complicated institutional state. Borussia Dortmund have called from Germany. Gabriel Jesus and a salary of more than 7.5 euros. At the Etihad, they promised to facilitate the sale of Gab Jesus for 45 to 50 million euros. It is the amount fixed after carrying out a market study that has resulted in an affordable price for an attacker who prefers to act as a 9, but who also, due to Guardiola's efforts, adapts to the flanks, also sparing no effort in pressure and defensive aids. Real Madrid is studying the incorporation of the Brazilian international, as this newspaper has been told, is very much to the liking of both the sports management and Ancelotti. The amount of the transfer should be added to the salary of the former Palmeiras man, which without being whatever that is, will not be too low. Either in England, it's an exchange in and above 7.5 million euros net per course. Another aspect to consider is that of the non-community quota completed at the Santiago. The Madrid entity hoped to already have, but that delay that is taking place has generated uncertainty. That means that it cannot commit to Gab Jesus, and this problem can be definitive. So Arsenal have an opportunity to make things happen. It's kind of now or never. Leaving in the World Cup here is risky as well. You know, you go City, it doesn't work out, it might cost you a place in the World Cup, which is also something for a lot of players. Gab Jesus as well being one of them could either boost or whatever. Gabriel Jesus to hold talks over club future as Arsenal and Tottenham battle to sign Man City striker. As you can see, Gabriel Jesus will start thinking about his Arsenal future. We'll start thinking about his club future from tomorrow, with Real Madrid, the latest club to be linked with the Man City striker. That was a day ago, so today we should see movement. What's this Basuma business? Basuma drops massive hint he wants Arsenal moved this summer. Robbie Hawking, I bet you're chatting nonsense, but apparently he's hinted on Instagram that he may be interested in a move to the Emirates this summer. The Mali international has been linked with a move to Arsenal in the past, with fresh rumours circulating this summer. The 25-year-old is now entering the final year of his contract, meaning a cut price move might be available. So let's see what's going on here. Oh, it's the same thing. Boring. So yeah, that you can't see it, people, but Leno's been linked. Leno's been linked with her for Berlin. People, is clearly the article's put behind a paywall. And then obviously you can see Napoli are interested in the Frenchman William Saliba. So we have to see what that is. Guendouzi failed with last-ditch attempt to stop William Saliba returning to Arsenal. Let's hope let's hope this ain't clickbaity. Yeah, it is clickbaity, isn't it? Obviously, shout out to Kevin Betsy and Dan Manish. I can't say his name. They got their first team gig over there at Crawley Town. And what's this Darwin Núñez stuff? Darwin Núñez meeting with Premier League sides amid Arsenal and Tottenham transfer reports. Darwin Núñez has reportedly been meeting with a number of Premier League clubs ahead of a potential move this summer, with Tottenham and Arsenal among the sides to have been previously linked with the Uruguayan international. Apparently, Conte and Arsenal both want to address their frontline people. I mean, Darwin Núñez, do you want to go be backup for Harry Kane? Not sure about that. A report from Football Transfers has stated that the striker has recently been in discussions with a number of Premier League clubs over a potential move this summer. As things stand, Núñez has 3 years remaining on his current Benfica contract, but is entertaining a move away. The reports state that while Núñez wants Champions League football, the draw of Manchester United may prove too strong for him as well. It's something of a blow to Arsenal's chances of signing the marksman this summer, but leaves Tottenham firmly in the running. Although they are reportedly yet to solidify their interest, Liverpool and Newcastle are also reportedly considering moves. And obviously, he got 6 goals in 10 Champions League appearances and across all comps bagged 34 goals, people. So, yeah, man. Oh, now you rate Gabby. So, yeah, that seems to be the articles, people. So, yeah, man. It is what it is. Big up you lot tuned in. That is the transfer news, really and truly. What else are we saying? 171 likes. Tough crowd, people. Very tough crowd you guys are. But we're moving. Núñez is fine. You can go to Arsenal, Liverpool if you want. We don't have Champions League. Ross, why are you so against him? What a lot of tosh by the news outlet. I've never heard of any club buying a striker who just works hard and doesn't have goals to a certain price tag. Come on, people. Smash the likes. People get up to 300. Give a like, guys. It's free and easy. Keep your opinions coming. Saka ain't going anywhere, ain't going nowhere. Interest is interest. Only reason he'll leave is if we finish outside the top 4 next season. Then I could see him considering. If Cess is retiring, Arteta should bring him into the coaching staff for Santi. I think Cess will end up being a manager and so will Wilshere. And Arteta, you might have competition if you don't pattern up. If I'm honest with you. Check the schedule to know when DG will next be live. Facts. Sorry, people. Saka is in a fantastic position to negotiate, Arsenal's at his mercy, and he can leverage that, or specifically his agent can. Eddie's not getting 100 bags a week up front, but if he's getting something competitive, then obviously I need more than that. How are people picking Jesus over Núñez? I mean, I don't think it's a bad thing. Good news for who? I'm having flashbacks to the early 2000s and the big boys picking off our young stars. It is what it is, man. We just need to be clinical this transfer market and not make the same mistakes like in January window and sell without buying facts. I'd think about selling Saka if we got 3 of their players in a swap, especially if Saka doesn't sign a new deal. Crazy, man. Jesus, Zinchenko, Hickey, Telemans, Basuma, Gnabry, Shamaka will be a dream signing. Dream. Out of that, Gnabry, I'd say, is a dream. Shamak would be a good signing. The rest would as well. But dream for me is when we got Alexis and Ozil and them sort of guys there. Like, I can't be saying Ake and them guys are dream signings. I know the bar's on the floor, but bloody hell. What happens to Nketiah if Arsenal sign 2 strikers? I don't think we're going to sign 2 strikers, but he probably has to hold it up then, innit? Really? What else have we got? I'm more concerned about the lack of activity in midfield. I'd spend most of the money on midfielders. I would say that, but I'd say striker purely because it comes with a premium. Everybody knows Arsenal needs a striker. Everyone knows that there's not really, to us normal football fans, just bare 6 strikers about that you could sit here and say are the guys. So, yeah, obviously, you got to pay. We have to get Champions League next season or within the next 3 years. Bundesliga is weak. That league made Sancho way good than he actually is. But a bit harsh. Sancho's a baller still. I think him and Grealish are gonna have good seasons. Sancho's a good player, man. You know me, I always root for them guys there, man. Appreciate you. Man said, what YouTube user? What's up, my guy? How comes Arsenal always shopping in Serie A? Are we though? Because what we got Tommy Asu. Who else? You know, I'm taking Aaron Hickey, but it's not gone over the line. Locatelli, Vlahovic, Shamaka, Famelo. These things didn't end well, did they? Really? Who else did we get? Who else did we actually get from Serie A? Tommy Asu. And I don't mind where we shop. Let's get the right players, man. Bro, that's all it is, man. Torreira, yeah, 2 players. It's not really shopping though, but that's like I just said. We're just linked with these guys, man. We're just linked with these guys, and then they start like you saw. We're linked with Shamaka for about 30 million. When he signs for £2 for Inter Milan or something, it's crazy. Barca still. Well, if Saka deserves a better team, keep playing well and keep looking like you're doing us a favor, and things will take care of themselves, really. What more can I say? Simple as that. Looks have we got? United fans buying into the anti-Nunes agenda. Rance has been pushing. Yeah, I don't know why Rance ain't happy for the thingy, man. Ain't happy for Nunes. Everyone not on him. He does, he's a bit raw with it, a bit scrappy. Hold on, bro. I have 2 YouTube accounts. I got you. Hey, shout out to you, dude. Big up DJ. 120 million for Saka, and that could be the making of taking the further steps to making the squad. But it could, but then we're going to be behind because realistically, it would help us on top of what we might have already. But when you break down 120 million, how far does it go? Because you're going to have to buy another right winger. You're going to have to. You're going to have to buy a striker. You're going to have to still bring in a midfielder. So it does help us, but it's like selling Gabriel, If they said 40-odd million for Gabriel Juventus, you've got or 50, you've got a decision to make, but then you're going to have to buy another centre-back. It's a bit like, do you remember that season when people saying, oh, we might as well sell Aubameyang for 70-odd million, where hindsight, years later, certain things happen, but, you would have to buy another striker. So, I don't know, man. I mean, one thing I'm jealous of is Ivan Glazides, because he seems to be doing all right over them sides there at AC Milan, doing all the things he said he'd be doing at Arsenal, mate. It's absolutely crazy. But that literally have to see, mate. Boy. So yeah, it is what it is, man. I don't think there's any. Don't seem like there's any. I'm a bit of a dry news day for Arsenal Football Club. Right, man. Off topic, but apparently Bryce Samba, the goalie of Nottingham Forest, has told Nottingham Forest he won't be signing a new contract with the club and wants to leave. Wonder where he'll go. Crazy. He's in a different route, Milan, more like Vinay here. Either way, he's making things happen, man. I mean, it's up to Saka, bro. You have to ask Saka. I don't know him. 120 million gets you 2-3 good players. That's true, but then we need the depth. As a Liverpool fan, I'm not feeling Nunes. I can't lie. I hear that. But why are you not linked with a striker, though? Like, well, Mane's going to cut in it, who did well in that false 9. So, yeah. In fact, no, I answered my own question. I just deeped it all, man. Crazy. So, yeah, man. Man are describing Valverde as a Rolls-Royce midfielder. He's good, don't get me wrong, but fuck, I mean, I don't know if this is anything to just seeing this come across my timeline, people. I don't know if this is anything to get excited about or any of them things there, but maybe you could take this one in. Nah, there's sound, bro. There's sound, bro. I think that's a you problem, cuz. Gab Jesus is likely to move to Arsenal this summer despite interest from elsewhere. That's according to journalist Rodrigo Oliveira, who has backed the Brazilian to be a big hit at the Emirates if he does make the move. Jesus will find himself down the pecking order at Man City next season with the imminent arrival of Haaland from Dortmund. He will be an undisputed first choice under Pep Guardiola, meaning Jesus faces the prospect of even less minutes than he already has. Scrolling all the way down, a move away has been muted for several months, with Arsenal thought to be keen on the Brazilian as they look to bolster their forward line this summer. They need to replace Lacazette and Aubameyang, and Jesus would fit into their model of targeting younger players under Mikel Arteta. The Spaniard knows the player well from his time as Guardiola's assistant. A move could make sense for all parties then, and according to Oliveira, it's already in the pipeline. He would be the perfect size. He would be the perfect striker for me. That's a big yes for Juventus. He played very well at City and will only leave the club because with the arrival of Haaland, it will be difficult for him to get the right minutes. He's in a good moment. He's motivated. He wants to recover his starting place for Brazil. So if he comes to Juventus, the Italian club will acquire a great centre striker, considering that they've still got Morata. Moise Kean technically not dealt with that. They just signed Vlahovic. I think he would play a lot of football, but you're not going to play. If the whole thing is playing through the middle, then half the clubs you're linked with Spurs, Chelsea. Well, maybe you play at Chelsea, to be fair, but Spurs, Chelsea, Juventus, you might not play through the middle. But as we know here in Brazil, he's likely to move to Arsenal. Likely, I don't know. You know, I don't like likely and certain and all of these sort of things. Twitch gang, one love Malachi for resubscribing as well. Shout out to anyone who's followed recently and subscribed via Amazon Prime. Make sure you're doing that at no extra cost. YouTube, make sure you're hitting the like button and obviously following the thing on Twitch. But yeah, I mean, I don't like the lightly business. You know, everybody's likely to sign and 100% signing and all these things. Confirm the deal first. Until I see him holding the shirt and we've made the announcement vid, everything's up for debate, really and truly. Jesus has said he prefers playing wide. Some people seem to miss that out when they link him as an out-and-out striker. Where did he say that? And what did he specifically say? Because if we're not signing an out-and-out striker, what's the point? Can you provide a link? Where has that been said? That's very interesting if he has said that. Let me try to find that. I mean, Gabriel just said on himself as well once, I'm a street footballer. You run everywhere and then try to fight to regain the ball to attack, fighting for everything. This is my quality. I played on the street until I was 15 years old. I learned a lot from the streets. We call it in Brazil, Fazea. Sign for the club. That's all I need. That's all I need to see. He talked about fighting, yeah. Sign for the club. Confirmed. That's what I want to see. He said last year, I think he prefers playing on the wing. I need to see him. Where is that? Because I think I remember something about I like to be in certain positions and do certain pause and do certain things. Let me see. You might be onto something, but for people, I think you're right. But you've got to learn to be an out and out forward, man. Because we just read some reports where they were saying he likes to be an out and out number 9. Where is it, man? In a sense, he has consigned himself to margins for years. He has said that he preferred playing for Brazil on the wing and the right wherever. When Guardiola used him on the flanks for City, it was the left. Then finally came recognition that he did not really see himself as a striker. So what's changed now? Because the things we've read today said he wants to play centrally. So if he's still discovering himself, we're in problems then, innit? Really and truly. I got that Brazilian bias. I agree, DG. Sign him up. Shout Rochelle. But we need it. Exactly. It's for the streets. Shout D, man. We need this. It needs to happen now. You've sold me. You can score 3 goals this season. Now I'm playing. You got to do a lot more than that. If we're not signing, well, to be fair, you can get goals out wide, but how does it fit in? Is it going to be Project Martinelli striker and Jesus is just going to keep doing the thing? I mean, that's why I'm happy for Jesus. I mean, we all know he works hard. He presses well. He's multifunctional. The thing is goals. That's the issue with us. If we're not signing Dons, it's issues. As a secondary position, I'm for it, but the striker has to be his primary position. Facts. Because we need a striker. We need multifunctional ballers. But yeah, man. Mateus Nunes would be a great buy for our midfield. Darwin Nunes is a 9 and he's rough around the edges, but he's hungry for goals and loves to attack at defenders. We need that. We need that. Given our suspected budget, not enough for all we need / want, we need to create a lot more chances. If we're not in the market for a 20-plus goal merchant, so an able midfielder is a must. Crazy, man. Hopefully he does the whole selling thing and we can go for 1 or 2 other Don's trust. I'll take Bowen. I like Bowen a lot, but again, West Ham, he's been capped by England. He's finally getting the hype he deserves, rightly so. What are West Ham telling you? Because they're already moving stupid with Declan Rice. So what are they probably going to say for what? Bowen's like 25, 26. I mean, I'm having him at Arsenal. I mean, you're a Liverpool fan, Andrew. I think he fixed what you lot want to do to a T, if I'm honest with you. And he's one that will probably bag a lot more. DG, if I'm honest, when I started seeing Jesus every day, I have a feeling we won't sign anyone we are supposed to be talking to. Crazy. What else are you lot saying? I mean, we could. There's some deep, shopping Serie A. Why not, man? Shop anywhere, man. Just buy the right players. It don't matter where they're at. Like, just sign the right players, man, that fit the system, man. If you can find a couple more shrewd additions like Tomiyasu and that, then I'm all for it, if I'm completely honest with you. If not, then it is what it is, isn't it? Really, really and truly. There's got to be something, man. Come on, just lie to us. Come on, man. Tell us Mbappe's had a change of heart. He's not signing that deal. He's already signed it, but he's not signing the deal. Well, Chelsea owner Todd Berry is preparing a formal proposal for Gabriel Jesus, with the Blues showing strong interest. Read this. So, yeah, I mean, sometimes one thing that could give Arsenal fans hope, you know, when you start seeing someone's being plastered with this club and that club, it could mean we're moving closer. But, boy, I can't lie. Kills me to say it, but, you know, if I was a footballer, if I was Gabriel Jesus, I might just pick Chelsea over us. Obviously, Arteta, all of that sort of stuff, but they've just won Champions League not too long ago. They fought for the league before us, you know. I don't know what they're going to do under Abramovich, in this post-Abramovich era, but yeah, man, is where it is. You might not be guaranteed as much starting football because they're Chelsea sort of team to sign another striker anyways and slap you on the wings and that, but Chelsea shows strong interest in top Arsenal target as Todd Berry prepares formal proposal. He's reportedly preparing a formal proposal for Gabriel Jesus, with the West London club showing strong interest in the Arsenal target. It's thought Pep is willing to let the Brazilian winger leave City this summer, having secured the signing of Haaland. Striker, sorry, people. Arsenal have been linked for some time, blah, blah, blah. Let's go the way down. Chelsea are prepared to sanction a bid for the 25-year-old. He got 13 goals and 12 assists for City last term. He's got a year left on his deal. He's been offered to both clubs in Madrid, Atletico and Real. So, yeah, Chelsea are looking at him. Arsenal are prepared to double his wages to 200 bags a week. So, you know, him on 200 bags, Eddie on some new deals, Saka, by God's grace, on a new deal to follow Martinelli and Saliba. But big bulk of our budget has to be dedicated towards new deals, which probably means Pepe, Bellerin, Torreira, Ainsley, Leno, and anyone else, Marie, probably Cedric. These lot need to be moved on. They're not on no little boy wages, and everything helps. So yeah, man, we'll have to see exactly what's going to happen with that. So yeah, man, Chelsea have been linked with him. Tottenham's preparing a bid, and this team's preparing a bid, and that guy's preparing a bid. I don't know if Chelsea could commit to that without dealing with Lukaku. I don't know if he would. A lot of photos of Jesus with Martinelli on international duty. Hope he's been talking us up. I hope so as well, but you know how they are with us football fans. Big up DJ at work listening. I pray we get some good transfers and we don't sell our best players. Amen. Marcelo, I'm not really for him, my guy, but I hear that. Looked it up. His background as a winger says he has not a problem playing there. He hasn't said I prefer to play there. JJ, well, let's do this thing. Has this agent's working overtime on the links and PR? We are going to end up doing everything for Jesus just for him to choose someone else when it's too late to find a new target. Off topic, I wonder how Spence is feeling knowing he's a loanee. He just helped the team get promotion to top tier football and potentially won't be part of it. Well, I don't know. Middlesbrough might hold on to him. He might say, let me sign a new deal and stay at Forest for another year. Forest allegedly want to get him permanently. Tottenham were having mad interest in him. United as well. United fans were resurfacing his United supporting tweets. So, yeah. Big up DG. Just joined, but for some reason, I think Arsenal should sign 2 solid, good midfielders, 1 left back and 2 forwards. You're not alone. I turned my nose up at Bowen last year, but after watching him this season, I see a lot. Exactly, man. You change your mind. Why not? That's a crime in football, though. People, come on, smash the like button. Get up to 300, says South London's finest. Just seen a pic of Gabriel Jesus mural in the favelas of Sao Paulo. Bring him in. I'm here for it. He's got the streets. Let's do this, man. Thoughts on Manu Kone? If you're talking about the Gladbach one midfielder, I've done a video on him before. Bring him to the carpet. Very raw around certain aspects, but bring him true. Shout 1-1. Big up DG. Drink that H2O. You're right, man. Man, I'm thirsty still. What's the time? Gym settings as well. Needed. Love for that, man. Hydration is key. Hydration is key, man. Love for that. But even that, Raheem Sterling's been linked with Chelsea as well. So maybe Chelsea are not looking for a recognized number 9, and they're looking for someone that can do the whole false thing and being able to play out there as well, being able to play through the middle as well. Can't lie, Rafinha's 51 million. What are we doing? I know it's not necessarily an area, but I know he's waiting for Barcelona and he has interest from Liverpool, but if for some reason something is happening, then yeah, man, bring him to the carpet, really. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. Again, actually tired of hearing about Gabazis now. What happened to Aaron Hickey and the fullbacks and the midfielders and whatnot? Gakpo over Bowen any day. Man, don't want them West Ham Dons at my club. I hear that, but it's not where you're from. It's where you at. We need 2 deadly strikers, a good right back and a backup left back, and 2 box-to-box midfielders. I hear that. So, yeah, man, it's a bit boring, really. You know, we're just going to have to hold it up, really, and hope for the best Arsenal fans, essentially, because it is what it is. Let me type in Arsenal's name on Google. Come on, man. We've been, the most exciting thing is we've been linked with Richarlison. Been linked with Basuma again, but it's just a journalist just chatting shit, like, really and truly. This stuff needs to heat up again, man. Like, we need more news. Apparently Arsenal are looking at Morata. It's a bit disheartening. Apparently, Arsenal, Manchester United, and Tottenham have all turned their noses up at the chance to sign Paulo Dybala on a free as he prepares to leave Juventus. To be fair, both teams, like, he doesn't, no one can doubt Dybala's quality, but he doesn't fit in. United is just going to be a sick name. He's not going to fit in, really and truly. He's not going to score enough goals up front. At Arsenal, you've got Odegaard and Smith Rowe in that 10. Not saying I wouldn't take Dybala. At Spurs, the system, you can't get in there. He's a quality player. You'll always make a way for him. But at 28, he's probably going to want big P's, really and truly. And they've all turned it down. According to the Daily Mail, Dybala has demanded 280 a week, which has led to the likes of United, Arsenal, and Tottenham obviously snubbing the free transfer, plus probably giving him serious bonuses and a decent sell-on clause. I mean, I don't know. We're still being linked with Broya, the Chelsea loanee. I'm not really. I like him. He could be part of the squad, but with Eddie staying, I'm not really for it. Took the second half of the season off, really, didn't he? But apparently, Arsenal have been joined in their pursuit of the Chelsea striker, with Everton, West Ham, and Newcastle all joining the fray. Could earn some big money at Newcastle, couldn't you? Why not? Saka's obviously been linked with us. This has been linked with us. Apparently, Saka is rated at 85 million by the CIES Football Observatory. That will decrease as his contract stuff plays down and he keeps doing what he's doing. Crazy. Don't seem like there's anything else. Let's set this to the last hour. Come on, man. Where's the Telemans and the Aaron Hickey deal? See, this is what's going to harm Arsenal really and truly. Getting rid of certain dons. We're signing dons and having to get rid of them. Theo Walcott's son has urged Mikel Arteta to sign his dad. Where is he? That's not going to work out now, is it, fella? That is shit. So, yeah, man, it is what it is where they're concerned. Don't forget to like and subscribe. The Barlow on Delusional Settings. Frankie de Jong news surfaced with Arsenal interest and has now gone quiet. It's a shame. We was never getting him. Giovanni Simeone, he always goes on these purple patches. I'm not really convinced with him. You see, Kyle Walker says Zinchenko is clear of Kevin De Bruyne and Foden technically. He might be bothered. Zinchenko's taken off. I can't tell Kyle Walker nothing. He's, I know you take a lot of drugs, so you might be off it, but I can't tell you nothing. You see them day in, day out, innit, really? You see, at work, you see your work colleagues more time than you see your family. So you're seeing Zinchenko up close and personal. Zinchenko is taken off. I think that's cap with Foden and Kevin De Bruyne. But all right, if he's saying that, I can't tell him nothing. I think it's cap. But yeah, we basically still need a new squad after all the money they've spent. Joke business, brazy stuff, people. But yeah, getting into it really and truly. Again, I mean, William Saliba, we spoke about this, but for those of you who haven't seen that, I belong to Arsenal and I still have 2 years left there. I'll be there for pre-season with Arsenal. I played 0 matches with Arsenal. I want to show them what I'm made of and have the chance to play for the supporters and for this big club that doesn't depend solely on me. In any case, leaving Arsenal like that would be a shame. Again, wages are an issue. Club want to sign Arsenal's 19 million man after just avoiding relegation. He'll have to take a pay cut. Hertha Berlin want Arsenal goalkeeper Leno. Obviously, we've just signed Matt Turner. We're going to sign him. Aaron Ramsdale is here. It is where Leno's concerned. Apparently, Leno's packed his bags and said goodbye at London Coley, so he expects to go somewhere. Leno is a target for the Bundesliga outfit, Hertha Berlin. The international goalkeeper is only on the bench in England after 125 appearances. He can leave the club, but would have to forego a lot of the salary in Berlin. A bit like potentially why you're seeing Torreira at loggerheads with Fiorentina, and also why you're obviously seeing Bellerin and Betis. It's going to take a bit of time to get that sorted. And actually, what's affecting people that are contracted till 2024, like Pablo Mari leaving the club. At the moment, the former Leverkusen man is expected to collect 6 million euros, 1.5 million in London. So, yeah, that's a big outlay, really and truly. It looks like Arsenal will need to take quite a loss on 19 million. On the 19 million, The Guardian reported they signed Leno for in 2018. The common problem for all Premier League clubs trying to offload their unwanted players is whether they will take a pay cut. I mean, I think Leno will, because you're not going to be playing at the World Cup if you don't get football. So it is what it is. It all depends what these lot are seeking, really and truly. Away from that, Tavares tipped to complete Arsenal transfers, discussions held. Noel Whelan has insisted it would not be a surprise to see Tavares leave Arsenal on loan this summer, as we already found out via the Athletic. He needs to. He made 28 appearances, 13 starts. God knows how many times he was hooked at half time. He needs to start thinking. A very volatile player. Everyone always has the opportunity to come back if they're loaned out. He's got to show character now and put performances in to really catch Arteta's eyes. He's got to go out and prove a point. It doesn't surprise me. He's had good games, but he's also had terrible games. It's that inconsistency which has probably forced Arteta's hand and led to him to decide to loan him out. if he can have a consistent season elsewhere, then he could still be a beneficial asset for Arsenal in the long term. He costs 8.5 million. God knows how much that costs is when you consider points lost or individual games, and obviously the salary he's on. What I hope is that he could come back a dramatically better player, or this 8.6.8 million can turn into 12 or 13 or 14 or 15 or just something better than what it currently is, people. Because we're just not going to make peas, isn't it, really? Don't know what the analytical team's on with that signing, but fair enough. Fiorentina open talks for Arsenal and Leeds target Torreira replacement. Now, obviously, Grealish is a completely different player to Torreira, but if they sign one midfielder for free, they might turn their back on Torreira. He's turned 27, so he probably wants to get a decent contract. Arsenal were previously linked with him. Clearly, that one's not going to go far. Fiorentina are in talks to sign Leeds and Arsenal target Grealish after talks broke down over a permanent move for Lucas Torreira. Grealish is a free agent with his Hoffenheim deal about to end. So we'll have to see how that one there is, people. It does seem as if Fiorentina have moved on from Torreira and are quickly looking to replace the Uruguayan international. A move for Grealish would see them perhaps lose a bit of a goal threat, but add defensive sturdiness. It would also see Fiorentina save some cash given his contract situation. It leaves Leeds and Everton still in the market for a midfielder, and Arsenal could be stuck with Torreira. His deal ends in 2023. We could be on paper until these guys left. We're stuck with bare players. You can't even register half of them. Bellerin, Maitland-Niles, Leno, Reece Nelson. There's a bag of them, really and truly. So we'll have to see what's going on. And when you consider that, and obviously the fact that Pepe's an elephant in the room, we need to get rid of some of these players. So we'll have to see. I don't buy into that for what it's worth. I just think that the journalist is being creative. Hopefully Torreira, whether it's Lazio, Fiorentina, club in Spain, whatever. I would have loved for Torreira to find a role in this squad, but clearly it wasn't. It just simply wasn't meant to be, really and truly. It wasn't meant to be. With El Nene signing the new deal, being happy to sit on the bench and whatnot, I think that's that in that regards as well. So that's that, really. What can you say? I think that's that. So yeah. Who you want to bring in? Well, I want to see Gabbers this time for the club, but if he doesn't, Bird's right to the carpet. He already got me, man. His dad's rubbed, man. That's dead. Matic to Roma must mean Xhaka staying, or at least not going to Roma, and the Jose Mourinho's things are not going to happen. Why must Arsenal always take an L when selling players? Because we're buying players, and you're buying a player that's an L, you're going to take an L. When you've got inexperienced hustlers, when you put people on big wages, when there's not too many standout loans, when you do what you're doing, you play stupid games, you're going to win stupid prizes. This is where we're at. Half the time we're righting our own wrongs, To Tavares, 6.5 million or whatever, ain't banged. You now got to loan him out. Pablo Mari did not bang, dead. Willian did not bang, dead. Aubameyang's contract, for whatever reason, did not bang, dead. Like, do you get it? So it's one of them. You do these things. There's been some things that Arteta and Edu can't be blamed for, and that's been an inherent problem at Arsenal, an ingrained problem. But then they've made issues of their own as well. Really and truly, like, Ainsley Maitland-Niles got a lot to think about. You're just about to have a kid. You got a partner. You can't really keep doing this volatile. 1 minute you're at Arsenal, 1 minute you're not here. Then you're at this loan club, that loan club. Surely you and your young developing family want a bit of stability. So we're going to have to monitor that. And I can't lie, for me, some of these players, as much as it's on Arsenal, some of these players' agents have to do a job. They have to get them out. But then again, if I'm necessarily El Nene, Marie, Cedric, half of these guys, Mustafi at the time, Socrates, Ozil, all of these sort of things. Do you want to leave? You're earning decent money. Your career is short. Do you want to leave? But at the same time, I want their agents to do their jobs for them as well. Unpopular opinion, people overreacted on Tavares. Had a really bad spell towards the end of the season, but I think showed some real promising signs early in the season. He'll come good. I've got no doubt he'll become a better player. And I don't know for anyone else. Speaking for myself, told you that I said on my channel what we're going to go to. People can go back to the moment. It's the first ever Tavares video. You could see from the lack of experience he had, the way he played, you could tell at 16 years of age, which he said in that interview, so I was right, that he's just become and he's 21 now, or 22, he's just become a fullback. You could see that there's the alarm bells ringing, the press conference when he signed for the club. They're asking him his strengths. I know as as a fullback going forward, your strengths have to, you know, as a fullback, you need to go forward and do stuff. But he did not mention anything about defending. You could just see he's a bit of a free spirit. He's not calculated enough. He's just at this moment in time not good enough. Ultimately, overrated going forward, in my opinion. Extremely overrated going forward. Almost harms the team. Good outlet, but it's dead, man. So yeah, man, I don't think anyone's over exaggerated, and I think he played too much, in my opinion. If I'm honest with you, I think every away game he's kind of struggled with, bar the ones he's obviously done well. Even the ones he's done well, even the games he's done well. You know, Man United and Chelsea, probably two of his better performances this season. Made mistakes against United, and again, you can make mistakes. You should be able to make mistakes in life. That's the only way you're going to learn. But not everyone, just because they're young, has to make mistakes here. Go and make it somewhere else where it might not necessarily cost us points. You know, Saka and Martinelli and Smith Rowe, for the large part of the season, they've stood up to be counted. But there's been even with Saka and Smith Rowe in particular, where they should have probably bagged. I look at Southampton. I look at Martinelli against Manchester City at home. You know, I've got time for them mistakes there. I don't know for the rest, man. So, yeah, it is what it is. Simply, that's that. I don't think anyone's over-exaggerated with, well, I don't advocate scapegoating and all of them things. Clearly, people, I'm not, and if you're referring to that, clearly I'm not referring to that. But for the rest of it, nah, not having that. I have no doubt he'll come good. If he'll come good enough for Arsenal is another thing. But nah. Can we just get a left back that does the basics, please? Thank you. 231 likes. Can we move towards 300 people? Hit the like button if you haven't. On that note, though, I think it's time for me to go get some lunch and head to the gym, people. It's been a fantastic 1 hour and 46 minutes with you lot. We've obviously spoke general Arsenal points. We've spoken about transfers, etc. Don't forget, 10 a.m., 11:30, etc., etc. I'll be live tomorrow, man. So, yeah, it is what it is now, man. There's not any... Well, man's got too much melanin for them things there. I'm not trying to rub myself out on national TV. But, yeah, smash the like button. Check out the rest of the content. I'm out, people. Stay blessed. Stay safe. Stay attacking your goals for the week. You know, I'm out.
There's always just that active red flag, defending.
I think it's like